Welcome to this episode of Sippin' Some Wine. Really excited today to have Devon Jesse here with me. Met Devon Jesse at wine training actually for my court of Master Somm Certified Certificate. But Devon is a certified sommelier, and she's also got her WSET level 3. So she's very experienced, very knowledgeable. She has a job now at the cool Uber hotspot right now in Phoenix, which is the global ambassador. Look forward to talking about that location a little bit here today. So Devon, why don't you start me out and tell me, how did you get involved in wine and what led you to become a certified sommelier?
Sure. I've been in the restaurant industry for over 15 years now. It was something to just kind of make some money during college, and college ended up not working out for me, and I wanted something to kind of like feed that desire for education, and I've always enjoyed studying something and learning stuff. And just my time over the different restaurants that I worked at led me to enjoy wine. And then I was like, I can get certified to talk and sell wine. I can drink lots of wine. I can study for it. And it just kind of snowballed into this passion. And
So right now, I believe you are studying for advanced.
I am, yes. Yeah. The first part of the exam broken up into 3 parts. The first part's in February.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on getting accepted in the program, because that's the big
Thank you.
So now you're working at Global Ambassador.
Correct.
As I said, the Uber hotspot probably in town. Tell us about that.
So the Global Ambassador Hotel is a Sam Fox owned hotel. Fox Restaurant Concepts is a very popular string of restaurants here in Phoenix. He has expanded all over the country, but he's always had a dream to own a luxury hotel. So within the past couple of years, that's what he's been working on. Finally opened last winter. So luxury hotel. On the first floor, there's a really swanky lobby bar. There's a Parisian style steakhouse. And then on the rooftop is a huge, expansive indoor-outdoor space called Thea, which is like Mediterranean-inspired food.
I think it's gotten a couple awards already.
The hotel got a Michelin key. So yeah, Michelin guide does not come to Arizona for restaurants for like the stars, but they did start coming here for hotels, and the key system works kind of similarly. So 1, 2, and 3 keys. And yeah, we got a key recently, which is pretty cool.
So where do you see your wine journey taking you over the next 5 years?
I'm really not sure. I'm kind of just focusing on studying right now. I've been wanting to get my advanced for a while, so that's kind of the focus. The wine program is led by 2 really amazing people, Master Sommelier Jonathan Ross, and then a local sommelier named Laura Bruno, who I've known for a really long time. And I know that the hotel is probably going to expand at some point, so just kind of, biding my time, taking the time to study. I'd love to get back into a wine buying position again. That's what I was doing before I went to the Global Ambassador, so hopefully something like that opens up.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
What would you recommend to somebody just starting out in their wine journey, wanting to pursue education and move themselves up through the industry? What would be your biggest recommendation to somebody in that position?
I guess it kind of depends on what part of the industry they're interested in, which is kind of a really great thing to say, is that within the wine industry, there's so many different paths. There's the restaurant hospitality path, which, if you want to walk around a restaurant floor and talk and sell wine to people, that's an option. Or maybe you want to get into wine making. I know we were talking earlier about every state makes wine now, so that's always an option. There's lots of different things to do: run tasting rooms, work harvest. So I would say if you're just getting into wine and you want to do it for a career, is to just start doing stuff. Like you did a stage with us at the Wrigley Mansion to kind of get an idea of what service is like. A lot of wineries will, let people join to run harvest or work the winemaking floor for like free or pay room and board, and there's lots of different options. Maybe you want to work for an importer or a distributor.
Do a YouTube channel.
I would say, yeah, if you already have the passion for wine, there's lots of different outlets. So I would just say start exploring.
And how much work and effort, how difficult was it to become a certified sommelier?
It was definitely a lot of studying. My particular experience was a little skewed because I was actually supposed to take my certified sommelier in April of 2020.
Oh.
And then the whole world shut down. So my time got pushed back. So in terms of like physical years, it took me a little longer to get it than what I had planned for because of that. But, I was probably studying, around 5 hours a week. And, I was lucky in that I worked in restaurants. So I already had some experience with those things, going to tasting groups 1 to 2 times a week. So it might sound like a lot, but, one of those, the old adage, if you do what you love, work a day in your life. So it wasn't hard.
That's great. Well, you were kind enough to bring a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Tell us what you brought and tell us why you brought it.
So this is Domaine Joseph Roty Gevrey-Chambertin. It's from a Ludi called Curveball. So red Burgundy Pinot Noir from a very well-respected producer. They claim to have the highest or the most old vines within Burgundy, with a lot of their vines being at least 65 years old, which is really cool. Old vines make much more concentrated wine. And it's coming from Gevrey-Chambertin, which is a cru within Burgundy, and then a Ludi refers to a specific site within that cru. So something that is really cool that can be difficult with French wine labels is understanding that, but this wine is not coming from Burgundy and it's not coming from Gevrey-Chambertin, it's coming from a smaller area. So less grapes to choose from. Quality is definitely at the forefront of the winemaker's mind because they have less to work with. And sometimes that can equate to higher prices, like if you see wines in stores, but I think that's cool. Yeah. And the idea of the Ludi in Burgundy is a really complicated one. So in, let's say, California, you got California, and then you got Napa, and then you got like famous vineyards within Napa, like Tocolon or something like that. And in Burgundy, they have some famous vineyards, but they also just have famous sites called Ludis, and it's really hard to pinpoint like why these are famous. In Burgundy, a lot of the vignerons will be like, it's just a feeling. So, which is very poetic and romantic, can be difficult to study sometimes.
Yeah, no kidding.
You just have to like learn all these different famous Ludis. But so yeah.
And that's different than a club.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Clos usually refers to a vineyard that's surrounded by a wall, which was done a long time ago. Like a lot of vineyards used to belong to the church, and so their vineyards were enclosed with a wall, so it would be called a clos. A lot of those walls are still standing. Some vineyards say clos, but maybe don't have a wall anymore, but harken back to when they did. So, yeah.
But a Ludi could be potentially, I guess, multiple owners?
Correct. It can have, or it could be one owner that people purchase fruit from. A lot of that gets a little more complicated sometimes certain rules don't apply, but yeah. If it's on the younger side, it could definitely use some more time, but I just thought it'd be fun to share. Yeah.
Well, a lot of fun.
And a half bottle is perfect for 2 people.
That's great. Looking forward to trying it. So let's maybe give the nose a try and tell me what you're thinking.
For fruit, it's definitely red fruit driven, in my opinion. Cranberries, lots of cherries. There's some red and darker cherries here. A little bit of pomegranate. There's a touch of dried fruit to it. Some tertiary nuts that are starting to come through as well, like wet leaves. This producer doesn't do stem inclusion, so there's no like greenness from stems. The earth is kind of composty, in my opinion. There's a little bit of minerality to it, like a wet road.
I'm getting interestingly enough, I am getting a little bit of green herb there. I'm not sure where that's going.
Yeah, and maybe it's a product of the oak. They do a pretty decent amount of new French oak aging, so there's also some cinnamon, clove. In terms of the greenness, I'm not quite sure exactly where it's coming from,
Well,
but that's okay. Yeah.
now let's give it a taste. Definitely got more red fruit.
Yes, on the palate,
For sure.
It goes much more tart.
Very more to it. Agree. Yeah, that acid there, probably on a high level.
Yeah.
This is a delicious wine, really delicious. And I'm sorry, what were the grapes mix on that again?
Just Pinot Noir.
Okay,
Mhm.
no noir.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
From Burgundy.
Well, you're very kind to bring this with you today. Is this something you guys serve over at Global Investor? No.
This is something I've had at home for a little bit and just felt like a perfect occasion.
Wow.
He's like, hi.
Blessed. So thank you so much.
Of course.
Well, I think that's going to finish it for this episode of Sipping Some Wine. Devon, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Mason.
And hopefully we can have you again sometime.
I would love it. Yes.
And so please make sure you subscribe so you catch our future episodes. And I'll say so long for now. I think we're good.
Cut.
That was it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh. My phone.
Is this the person you summoned?
Yes.
Okay.
The person you summoned.